Hello, this is the 11th lecture for vocabulary level 4. The first word is pile, which is a noun. It means objects positioned one on top of another. For instance, these books. We found the pieces of paper Cador had lost at the very bottom of the pile. There is enormous pile of washing up in the sink. So this one is referring to a pile of dishes and spoons and so on. I've got piles of things to do today. So over here, it's referred to a lot of things. I had a pile of paper on my desk, so you can come get some. They've got a great big Victorian pile somewhere out in the country. Gets rid of. This means to remove or throw away something unwanted. For example, this guy, he's getting rid of his computer because it doesn't work. So getting rid of something is usually when people get rid of something, it's because they don't need it anymore or it doesn't work. It doesn't have the value that it used to them. That cream got rid of my skin rash. So the cream got rid, so it put away the skin rash. I used weed killer to get rid of the weeds in the garden. We got rid of our unwelcome guest by saying we had to go to bed. Is your home full of stuff that you never use? If so, the time has come to get rid of all your junk and create a peaceful, relaxed atmosphere in your home. Please get rid of all the rubbish from the roof because the blocks are on the way to start building this small cottage. Candle is a noun and it is usually a cylindrical piece of wax. It actually comes in many shapes. There are squares and so on, but it's usually cylindrical. With a wick. A wick is this piece of string in order to light up the candle in the middle of it, which produces light as it slowly burns. So when you obviously turn on the candle, the wax will slowly melt away. I felt a cold draft and the candle started to flicker. Flicker means when the fire, it moves, like it flickers, like it turns like on and off and it moves. My jumper started to sing when I learned over burning candle. Shady watched the wax as it dripped down the side of the candle. Shine. Shine is a verb and it means to send out or reflect light. For example, we say the sun shines. It was the ancient Greek who decided to make the cake round so that they looked like the full moon. They also put candles on the cake to make them shine like the moon. Candles and shine. The policeman walked along the street, shining a torch into every car. The guy ironed his shirt and shined his shoes for the interview. Wax polish gives a lovely shine to wood furniture. I thought you're going to have a real shiner there in the morning. Okay, blindfold. It can be a verb and a noun. This thing where you cover your eyes is called a blindfold, so that is a noun. But when, for example, you say, I blindfolded the girl, then that is a verb. It means to cover someone's eyes with a blindfold, which is a strip of cloth that covers someone's eyes and stops them from seeing. So, a blindfold is just a strip of cloth that covers the eyes, and that's a noun in that case. She was blindfolded and taken somewhere in the back of a van. So over here, it's a verb. I've been there, so often I could probably drive there blindfold. The birthday person is blindfolded and then tries to hit the piñata with a stick. Kaido was blindfolded and then taken to his new bedroom in the second floor. Stick. Stick is a noun and it's a thin piece of wood. It doesn't really matter what the shape is. They can be like long, it could be a long stick or a small stick, doesn't matter. The old man was carrying a load of sticks. Find some dry sticks and we'll make a campfire. A lollipop is a sweet on a stick, a short, thin piece of wood, plastic, or paper. So, not only do we refer a stick to a piece of wood, we can also refer it to a piece of like plastic. So you can say that lollipop is on a stick, which is like a piece of thin, long plastic, usually. At 84, he's still quite active, although he walks with the aid of a stick. So over here, a stick is like a piece of wood. It can be plastic, it can be glass. I've seen glass sticks where it helps people to walk. Donkey is a noun and it's an animal like a small horse with long ears. The little donkey strolled under its heavy burden. In the villages, use donkey for transportation their goods and for other transportations. A piñata is a container, usually in the shape of a donkey, filled with sweets hung from a tree. Donkeys are from the families of horses, but they are in different shapes. Seaweed. Seaweed is a noun and it means a green, brown, or dark red plant that grows in the sea or on land very close to the sea. This picture, this is a seaweed. In Korea, the traditional birthday food isn't cake, but seaweed soup. The restaurant has several famous and delicious soups, including several seaweeds. In many places, still seaweeds are going to be used as food and medicine. If you want to take care of your beautiful fishes at home, first you should buy some seaweed, which is suitable for the fishes. Blender. Blender is a noun and it's an electric machine used in the kitchen for breaking down foods or making smooth liquid substances for soft foods and liquids. Usually the blender is used to make smoothies, which is like a type of liquid made from fruits and so on. A stationary blender consists of a blender jar with rotating metal blade at the bottom. Yes, it contains this metal at the bottom. My mom has bought a new blender so we can drink fresh juices at home. In Europe, Swiss developed a blender based on technical construction. Needle. Needle is a noun and it's the thin piece of metal used in sewing, which is pointed at one end and has a hole called an eye at the other end for the thread. So these are needles, and needles come in different sizes, even shapes actually. There are needles that are curved, that are like that, like a moon shape, and there are like very thin and small needles that are very long and thick needles. But usually needles have to contain a little hole like this, which is called an eye, where you put the piece of thread inside. The needle on a compass always points the magnet north. So in this case, the needle it isn't used for sewing, but it is just used for to tell if it's north or south or east in the compass. Here your eyes are better than mine. Could you thread, that means put thread through this needle for me? It sounds like the needle on your record plays needs to be replaced. Needles are also used, it can be used for like medical purposes. For sick people, they usually use needles to inject them. So this is a quick quiz just to know that if you remember the definitions of these words, these are the definitions. Just match the correct letters in for them, and so pause the video and when you're done restart it. Okay, so I will give the answers. The first one is B, the second is E, the third is C, the fourth is I, fifth is H, sixth is G, seventh is A, eighth is D, ninth is J, and 10th is F. So I'll repeat it. B, E, C, I, H, G, A, D, J, and F. I hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye.